What is going on, everybody? My name is Pete, and you guys are watching Pay to Drive and Pay to Drive Vlogs, proudly presented by paytodrivestore.com. Before we jump into this, make sure to subscribe and turn on all notifications. Okay, very, very important, folks. Subscribe and turn on all notifications, and let's get 100 thumbs up or 100 likes on this video. I'd appreciate that. And let's jump into this. Now, before I jump into the actual article, I want to give credit where credit is due. Okay. The Doordash revolution a little earlier today made a live stream talking about this solar flare that either will hit Earth or has hit Earth or whatnot. A solar storm heading for Earth could disrupt radio and GPS signals. Now, on his live stream, I have his link in the description if you'd like to subscribe to him, by the way. I was in his live stream and he was saying about how DoorDash and and some of the apps were not functioning properly today. He was showing his DoorDash screen and showing that things were not working properly and whatnot. So I decided to look a little further into it, and I found this article, which I will have linked in the description. If it's not there, just leave me a comment. It should be. So it says navigation and radio devices could face brief blackouts as a solar storm is headed straight towards Earth. With the sun now nearing the peak of its 11-year solar cycle, solar activity is expected to increase, and so are chances of solar flares and coronal mass injections (CMEs) that could send some rough space weather into the Earth's orbit. Astronomers have been looking keenly at the sun to see which regions of the sun are experiencing changes in their magnetic flux, and closely following them to determine if they result in a solar flare or subside without making much difference to space weather. Sunspots, sun filaments, and prominence. Last week, the dynamics on the solar surface took a new turn when sunspots that were gradually increasing in size took the shape of sun filaments. Each filament was as long as the distance between the Earth and the Moon, known as highly unstable. These filaments held on for a few days before falling apart earlier this week and sending a solar flare directly towards Earth. So if we scroll down, astronomers also spotted a prominence on the sun, a phenomenon that is also a regularity on the solar surface, but does not lead to a solar flare. So you can see right here from the tweet, a solar prominence remains anchored to the sun and does not result in bad solar weather. The solar flare, though, isn't that generous and can get really nasty, especially for a spacecraft that do not have the protection of the multiple layers of Earth's atmosphere. Earlier this year, Elon Musk's SpaceX lost 40 satellites, which had barely reached their orbits. Astronomers have found that increased solar activity could send other smaller satellites, CubeSats, out of their orbits as much as 10 times faster than they usually would. So, what to expect in the next few days? So, listen up, guys. The breaking filament has also sent a CME toward Earth, which is approaching rather slowly. It's expected to arrive either on July 20th or 21st, and I'm recording this on July 21st. Highly charged particles in the CMEs and solar flares can ionize the upper layers of the atmosphere, but that we use for GPS and radio communication. Therefore, radio blackouts are the most common effect of solar activity. According to the Space Weather Prediction Center of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, a G1 class geomagnetic storm was observed in the past 24 hours, and it is likely to occur again on July 21st and the 22nd. During this period, weak power fluctuation may be observed on electrical grids, while auroras will also be visible at high latitudes. I will tell you guys, last night around midnight, my internet, cable, and phone all went out for about a good 35 to 40 minutes. Don't know if that was just general maintenance or if it had anything to do with this solar flare, but I will tell you that much. These predictions are based on mathematical models that astronomers have created after studying decades of solar data. However, these methods are not 100% accurate, and solar weather can vary from these predictions. Recently, a geomagnetic storm caused by factors that are not usually observed by scientific instruments hit the Earth at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Beyond preparing for an eventuality of a radio blackout, there is little we can do for now if the space weather turns bad. So, drivers and dashers, obviously, this article isn't going to directly say, hey, look out for this, if you're a gig driver, obviously. But as I mentioned earlier, the DoorDash Revolution channel, he was live and he was saying that he was having some issues with DoorDash's signal. So keep that in mind. And with that being said, he was like, I'm going to try Grubhub next. And then I think he was going to try Uber Eats. So keep those things in mind, everybody, that this is definitely something that is going on. So from today into tomorrow, for the next 24 to 48 hours, there could very well be issues going on with DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber Eats. So be on the lookout for it and, prepare for it. Because I believe he was saying that if the signal didn't improve, that he was probably just going to end up maybe calling it early for the day or working on something else. And I don't blame him. I mean, why would you want to sit there trying to screw around with it? I will say this, earlier this morning, when I was working on something, I did order Starbucks through Uber Eats and there were no issues. The signal was fine. The order came like usual. So I don't think there's any real issues going on there. But I will say this is definitely something that we haven't necessarily experienced before. So keep that in mind as well, that this is absolutely something strange going on here. But yeah, we'll have to monitor it and keep an eye on it and see what happens. But I wouldn't get too crazy just yet. It looks like for now, things should be okay. I would always recommend to people check out that website downdetector.com. It's fantastic for when any service you use goes down or crashes or whatever. At least then you can double check that and make sure that everything is going okay. So with that being said, drivers, dashers, I'm curious to hear what all of you guys have to say in the chat, in the comments, depending on where you're watching this and when you're watching this. Did you notice any sort of interference or strange activity, through DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats today? Or if you check back on this video tomorrow, let me know if on the 21st or the 22nd of July, you experience any kind of issues with your signal on any of the apps. I'm just curious to hear. It looks like I said, from DoorDash Revolution, again, shout out to him. His link will be below. Shout out to him that he was showing on his screen while he was live that he was struggling with DoorDash. And and it's just like, again, at this one, I'm going to give DoorDash a pass on all the apps, because this is beyond their technology. This is literally magnetic interference from outer space. You know what I mean? So we really can't be too hard on them for this one, because here's how it is. A lot of people come at me and they say, Pete, all you do is bash DoorDash and these companies instead of finding the good in them. And I know it may come across as such, but the fact remains, when it's not a magnetic issue coming from outer space, it's on them. It's on them on the technical end. You know what I mean? Like, you got to look at it like this. If you are a company that your profits mainly come from the app functioning properly, then that's a totally different story. Your technology should be better and it should be running, I would say 99.9% of the time. Think about it, for the efficiency of the restaurants, for the efficiency of the customers, for the efficiency of the drivers. Think about that. But a solar flare, something that is out of their control, I completely understand why they're not putting emphasis on that. You know what I mean? Because there's just so much they can do. All we can do is wait it out. Now, if you go back to the article, they say that it's more about radio signals and things like that. But what I'm, what I'm gathering, like I said, from what DoorDash Revolution was saying, he was saying about how, he was experiencing some issues today, you know? So I guess it's just a matter of time until we see what's going on. But I definitely wanted to put this out so that more drivers and dashers could share their experiences in the comments or in the chat. So just let me know in the comments of the chat. Just say, yeah, Pete, I noticed interference. I noticed bad signals on DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber Eats. But if you haven't experienced anything, please also leave a comment and say, no, Pete, I haven't noticed anything anywhere. Everything's been good. And if you could, please put what market and what state you work in so that we can, try and figure out and pinpoint what's really going on here, So this is one of those anomalies, one of those strange things that you never expect to happen, but it does in time, Sorry, I just need to take a drink of water there. And also, while I have you guys here, I'm just curious, how has it been in your particular market as far as orders are concerned? Have you noticed that the orders have gotten slower or worse or lower paying, or has it finally started going up again? I'm just curious to hear what you guys have to say about that. Let's see. What's up, Joseph? Joseph Wagner said, "Hey, brother, I just started Grubhub. I'm scheduled tonight at 6:30 in Florida. I have yet to get a call." Well, it's interesting that we were just talking about how busy or slow it is, for sure. I tried driving to a hotspot in Daytona, but still got nothing. Now, Joseph, are you only on Grubhub right now, or are you also on Uber Eats and DoorDash? Because let me tell you, that's great that you're on Grubhub. You're going to get some nice payouts when they start rolling in. But I will tell you guys, a million times over, you do not want to, put all your eggs in one basket, especially not the DoorDash basket, because too many drivers do that, where all they do is they work one app and then the app crashes one night and they panic and they're like, oh no, what am I going to do? So you don't want to do that. In the beginning, I was only on Grubhub, and then I started multi-apping with Uber Eats when necessary, and then DoorDash came into the mix later. So see, Joseph is saying only on Grubhub right now. Joseph, are you signed up on DoorDash and Uber Eats as well? Please let me know. Down below in the description below this video, just click the show more button or the link down below, and it'll drop down the page. Make sure you guys use those links to sign up for DoorDash and Uber Eats that are down below. I already have the links ready and set up. So get on that, on those other apps for sure. Uber Eats is giving me the runaround, and DoorDash told me there's too many drivers, so I'm on the list for an opening. Yep. I was warning you guys about this, that even DoorDash now has certain wait lists in certain particular markets. I'm telling you, that's interesting. And Joseph, I'm sorry you're having such an issue. Usually it's not like that. And what do you mean by Uber Eats is giving you the runaround? What are you noticing that's happening? I'm curious to hear about that. What's going on there? Let's see. We're going to be on probably for the next 6 minutes or so. I like the live streams. I like to keep about 15, 20 minutes so that people have some time to come in and hang out and whatnot. Because what happens is, you start the live stream and only a certain handful of people come. And then towards the end, all the people start showing up. It's how it always goes on, But going back to the solar flare thing, again, what I'm going to put out on the positive note is I wouldn't worry too much, because this sort of thing doesn't really happen often. Like I said, it's usually kind of an anomaly in this situation. So I wouldn't panic or worry too much just now. We'll be all right. But for a day or two, things may go down. That's something also to keep in mind. Joseph Wagner says the background check is giving me trouble. Yeah, that's good old checker for you. That's right. I bet you guys forgot to hit the like on this video. Go ahead. I'll wait. Thank you, Nightbot, for the reminder. So definitely hit that like and subscribe and turn on all notifications if you have not done so yet. But yeah, if you're just joining us now, please let us know in the chat or in the comments section if you have noticed any sort of signal interference today, or if you've been having any kind of issues at all with any of the apps: DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, Instacart, Shipped, Spark, any of them. If you've noticed any issues getting orders. Now, what's interesting is, now that I'm thinking about it, let's see. Because he said, "Hey brother, I just started Grubhub. I'm scheduled tonight at 6:30 in Florida. I've yet to get a call." So, are you online right now? Because maybe you're experiencing signal issues. The background check is an issue with them. They told me in the bot chat, I think it's a bot chat, that Checker is verifying if I had a license for more than a year. Yeah, Checker's usually a bit of an issue, which I've re-entered my license and everything. Right. Yeah, unfortunately, Checker has been a bad situation for many drivers and dashers out there. Drivers and dashers that have been in the gig economy for years were just getting deactivated left and right for past issues, past tickets and nonsense and stuff that was on background checks, misdemeanors and stuff like that, and drivers were just taken off the platforms like right away. It's frustrating, to say the very least. But I'm going to just recommend to everybody, make sure to definitely go down in the description and check out this link for sure. And of course, big shout out to all the patrons. I have you on the ticker down below. If you guys want to be on that ticker, that featured ticker, go to patreon.com/pay-to-drive. And you can sign up and I will add your name to that list down below. But yeah, guys, please, if you're just joining us, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments. What are you experiencing out there? Are you experiencing any issues, any interference? Please let us know. I want to try and keep as many people updated as possible because, again, this affects like everybody, and it's very frustrating. And, again, this is something that's beyond the control of DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, and the like, because again, it's a magnetic issue from the solar flare coming from the sun, which is in outer space, And I don't know if you guys knew this, but the sun is a star. So I don't know if you knew about that. But yeah, definitely hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, hit that like down below. And if you made it to the end of this live stream / video, leave a quick comment right now. Every single one of you, END244, END244, just lets me know you made it to the end of the video. And that's pretty much all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And please, please, please let me know what market you're in, and just let me know. Was the signal interrupted today? Yes or no? Did you have any issues getting orders? I need as many of you to leave a comment as possible. Until next time, get that money, get that honey, keep hustling, keep bustling, and we'll see you next time right here on Pay to Drive and Pay to Drive Vlogs and the like. And go check out pay-to-drivestore.com and get upside. And we'll see you on Patreon. Absolutely. No problem, Joseph. Take care.